Well, first of all, its mission to reduce infections, I think, are really important. With my medical background and my background in medical technology, I'm aware of the fact that we're going to have more and more implantables with time. Medical technology is so focused on miniaturization that there really will be more implants in the body. And because every time you break the skin, there's a chance for infection. Infection control is really important. One is that as we put more devices in people, there's going to be a bigger chance of infection overall because we're putting more devices in. On top of that, the global antibiotic exposure to patients has caused bacteria to evolve into being resistant to existing antibiotics. So with time, there will be fewer antibiotics that can actually treat standard infections, and that's a problem. So if we only treat the infections when they happen, we generate more and more evolution of bacteria to resist antibiotics, which sooner or later we will run out of antibiotics. If we can prevent the infections from happening to begin with, we'll stop this evolution of bacteria causing AMR. And Bactiguard can be the standard of care. That's the goal that we can achieve that can also reduce global infections. The biggest potential right now is in implants and in temporary central lines and so on. So the first thing is to demonstrate that solid implants, hardware, whether it's in spine, in joints, or in electronic devices such as pacemakers or brain stimulators, need to be coated with Bactiguard because each of those has an instance of infection that Bactiguard can prevent. I think the biggest impact Bactiguard can make is in the coating of implantable devices. So this prevention is really critical. In fact, what it does is it prevents very expensive hospital stays, and so we have a device that can improve morbidity and mortality in patients, but also lower healthcare costs globally. Prevention is always important. So as you become more invasive, what medical devices are, prevention is key because what you want to prevent are complications. Complications from the operating procedure itself, bleeding, other aspects associated with that, but most importantly, infection. The most promising aspect of healthcare going forward is prevention, period. So if we look at almost all diseases, many of them can be prevented. If we look at cardiovascular disease, we look at Alzheimer's, they can be prevented by exercise. I mean, that's something that's really important. So prevention is critical. Most diseases don't have to happen and occur. They don't have to. Included in that is infections. They don't have to happen. So as we develop devices that will be smaller and more effective and go along this tidal wave of prevention, Bactiguard, I think, will be in the forefront of reducing infections.